Irontrader. It is Sunday night, so we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at gold, silver, crude oil, and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell, stock, buy, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, here we have Bitcoin, your daily chart. Okay, now I can see you're hanging right around this old 8-day, and that's going to be very, very key. Let me just big it up a little bit there for you. Okay, see, this is going to be very, very critical. Okay, so 67,424. We need to hold that on a closing basis. If we lose it, then we'll come right down to the bottom of that candle. You're looking at 66,565. Right there, we have 65,680, and then here's the big boy right here at 65.20. We want to make sure that we hold that. Now, again, we have this bull flag situation here happening. Okay, so always pay attention. Now we have a little consolidation. Now, if we start losing that candle right there at 65,200, here's your target at 62,480, and it's 60.05. Okay, now we lose that, and we're going to come right down to the 200-day here on the weekly chart, 58,710 level. That's going to be very, very key. Now, if that is lost, we come down here at 57,550. You got 54,545. We have 52,820, and then we'll come right down to the bottom of this candle here at 49,365. And this can be very, very key. Like I've said in the past, is we ran right on up here. We put a topping tail in, came around down, consolidated, but then we broke through that. Okay, so as it came and consolidated sideways, you notice how it came down and retested that high. See how nice that is, and that held. So that's going to be very, very key support level right there on the closing basis at 49,365. Now, if we start losing that, well, we come right there. You're looking at 47.95 level. We'll come to the top of there at 45.260 level. Then we can work ourselves down here, 42.340, and we have 42.40. And then this is going to be very, very key. This is going to be that 38.540 level. All you do is bring that price channel right across here. Now, the next price channel we're looking for is all the way down here at 34.820. Then we come all the way down here to this 31 level here. And bottom line, you can come all the way down to the 20s here again. But you got to lose that 60,005 and that 200 SMA. I would like to show you where it could possibly go in case it does get hammered. But when you look at this RSI, you can see here we're to an oversold condition. The green is below your red here. Now we're starting to build the little bars. Now this has to, right now we've been just having inside weeks so far, so we got to see what we can do this week. Now, I just got a feeling that Bitcoin is going to start taking off here again, but we'll have to, that's why we trade the charts, we'll see. Now, so far, we have an inside day, but of course the market's been open, what, 3 minutes? Okay, so we got to give it time. All right, so we're looking for Friday's high, 68,450 level. And we come right on top of this candle right here. You're looking at 68,570, and we come up top of that candle at 69,580. And then this is what we're looking for is that 71.70. Work yourself right on up here at 77.40, and then we have 71,690. These are all your resistant levels. And then we come up here, 72,760. We have 73,575. But this is what you're going to be looking for. That's going to be your big target, your 21 simple moving average. Now, if we can get above that, right here is going to be your target, 77,110. And then this gap, look at this, 79,660. There's your gap, okay? Then we look to the bottom of the candle at 81,210. There's your fill, your gap, your fill. Then we look to the bottom of that candle, 83.10. And then we're looking for 50-day here at 83,714. Obviously, we get above that. Your big target's going to be this 92,290 level. We have your 100-day, and we have that 102,853, which is your 200 SMA. Now, see this 8-day. See how it is leveling off here, okay, which is good, but it's got to hold that on a closing basis. But right now, on the downside, what we're really watching is the bottom of that candle right there. That's going to be that 65,200 level. If not, we lose it. This is your big target, and we lose that. There's your big target right there. Now, we come in here, we got to an oversold condition. You can see that, okay? But now we've got a sideways action, only sitting at 34. So if this gets any kind of a juice going here, you got plenty of room to run. Now, look at those little bars. See how they're curling up here nice? That's very nice. That's what you want to see. Just look to the past here. See how the little bars curled up here? And then there's your result when you get that green over your red. Now, again, the green looks like it wants to cross over that red. If it does, we could get at least a bullish shot, at least here to that 74, possible right up here to the gap to fill, and maybe even that 50 SMA. But be patient with this. That's all this is. Right now, for me, it's a trade. BITX for the long, BITI for the short ski. Okay, so just be very, very patient here, but I think eventually they're going to get back into this, and this is going to run up higher. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. All right, here we have gold, here we have silver. Okay, now I am long silver, and gold I am waiting. Now, okay, so we made this high 51.44 here so far today. Okay, 51.44. Geez, why did I go there? All you got to do is look to the left of the candle. What do you see? 51.44. Dead nuts. I've been pointing this out here. take the top of that candle, look at that. See how nice that is? 51.44 was key because you hit it, okay? We retested it, and then we look at here. This is what you're looking for. Now, a close above that 51.44 level, there isn't that much resistance. You're looking right here at 51.90 level, okay? Then we can venture, okay, we look at the closing on this here, looking at 54.10, and then we look at 54.52 on top of that candle. This candle right there, 54.80, and then 56.26, okay? So I'm going to be watching this here 8 o'clock at night here tonight to see if we can get right above that 51.44 level. And then what we're going to do, we're going to be jumping in that GLD, and we're going to take it to there, to there, to there, and possible retest 56.26 level. Nicely. Now, 57, that's not overbought or sold. Plenty of room to run. The green is below your red, but once that green crosses over the red, this is what happens when that green goes over red. That's what the result is on the old chart. Now, downside, you can see that 8-day never crossed that 21-day. That's going to be your support level, 50.37. Next level, 50.37. Your 8-day and your 21-day, nice. Now, we lose that, say, 49.99. Come down here, 49.71 will come to the bottom of that candle there, 48.54 to the bottom of that candle, 47.79, and we'll be looking right here for 47.18. That is going to be your 50-day. We lose that right here, 46.70 level, and then we come down here all the way down to the bottom of the candle, which is the retest of that price channel, 44.23. All these blue lines here is just price channels, which are just bottoms and tops of candles. Make life a lot easier. Now, 100-day is moving up here very, very nicely. The 200-day is up here nice. This is all moving on to the upside. So right now, the key is right here, close above this 51.44, and there's your next target at 51.90. There's your next target. Okay, we can come all the way up here at the closing, 54.10, and then at 54.52, 54.80, and then 56.26. All right, here we have the silver. Now, remember, on the GLD and the SLV. That's how I trade these. I only trade on the long side. I'm not trading on the short side. You can buy these starting 8 o'clock tonight, okay? And you can trade these all the way from 8 o'clock, 24 hours, all the way till Friday at 8 o'clock at night. Same way with all of these, all the stocks, the NVIDIA, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, Google, Palantir, Tesla. Pick a stock. They're all 24-hour trading now. Awesome. Okay, so you never have to worry, I got to wait till 7 o'clock. I got to wait till 9:30. You don't have to worry about that. You can basically just say, I can trade this at 8 o'clock starting tonight. Okay, silver. Now, I'm long the SLV. Okay, now the reason being is because of this candle here, we got above that key 8-day and that 50-day. But I started down here, simple reason, we had this nice green candle. See how you have a red one? See how I have a green one right next to it? That's a very, very bullish pattern. Now, I did a weekend edition. If you want to check it out, just go on there on the site here at your convenience. I did about chart patterns, and I did about candlesticks, and I did seasonality charts, okay? I look at these every week myself just to keep refreshed. So just check it out. Take a look at it. It's on midday trading. Just go right to the play or right on the video here, and you can watch it anytime at your convenience, totally free. Okay, so now what we have here, the reason I bought this, and now look at here, how nice we made that higher high and went right into that 8-day. Then look what happened here Friday. You got not only made a higher high, but above the 8-day, above the 50-day, and then right there, now look at here, we made this higher high. So your big resistance here so far we made is a high of 85.90. What you're going to be looking for is right here next is 86.12. That's going to be your key level. Now, to get above it, this is going to be key right there, 87.44. That is your 21-day. Now, we get above that 21-day. Right here's your target, 88 flat. Okay, then we come up here, 89.10. We have 89.83, and then here's the big boy. This is that 92 retest. Okay, now we get above that. All we do is look right to the left of the chart here. Okay, that was your resistance, 93.56. Right there, 95.78. Come up there at 96.73. Then we look to the bottom here. Okay, you're looking at 101 level. We'll look at there at 102.90. Then we'll come down to the bottom there. You're looking at 106. Okay, we look to the bottom there at 110, and then we look to the top there, 113.55, and then we look for that 117.70. Then we have 118.45. And then 121.78. Now, this has a little bit more resistance than what we have going on over here. Once we start cracking above that key level here, the 51.44, you got this target, and then we can come right up to this level here and right to there very easy. But over here, you got to get above that 21-day. That's very, very key where the 21-day is below there. Once you get above that 21-day, then we just follow these candles up here. These are your resistance levels, tops, bottoms, okay, and closing. that's all your resistance level is going to be going up here until we retest that 121.78. Okay, now 52, that's not overbought, oversold, but I've been pointing out these little bars how they're moving up. Look how that green, now we get that green to cross over, just like that green crossed over here. Look at that. Okay, nice, very, very nice. Now, on the downside here, this is what you're watching. This is your key level, is that 81.16. That's your 50-day. Then we have your 8-day right below that. We lose that, we come to Friday's low, okay, 77.28. We'll come down here, 76.30, and then we'll come out to the bottom of that candle there at 71.81 level, okay? Now, this is the key. See how nice that held it all the way through? That's at 77.20. And then we come here at 17, and then we're looking for 100-day at 66.01, and then 63.90. That is your big retest of the bottom of that candle. But right now, this is looking good. So what I'm looking for is what the reaction is once it gets to that 21-day. Does she pop right through and head right for that 92? Okay, or does it hit that and then come right back on down again? But eventually, I think silver is going to be going higher. Now, we had that nice bear flag. Look at that. And then look at here, all the way on down. And then we retested. This was Thursday night. It was about 8 o'clock. I said, I am jumping into this here because it started rising right up. And they held that 100-day. And then it was a beautiful trade all the way up to this area here. Okay. So again, I am long silver and I'm trading silver. Okay, so I got 5,000 shares long SLV, and I'm also trading 2,500 shares. Now, if we get above this 21-day, I'll be trading, probably jump that up to 3,000, maybe 4,000. I'll jump extra into that so that we can go up to that 92. Once we crack this up here, man, we got a nice good shot at retest that 121. All righty, let's take a look here at crude oil. All right, here we have crude oil daily and your weekly chart. Okay, I always like to show you that. Nice. Okay, so here's what we're looking for on the upside is right there is that 66.48. Okay, so when we're all the way down here, I said just watch the top of this candle right there at 66. What the heck are we looking at? Yeah, it was 66. Right here. Sorry about that. Yeah, 66 right there on the daily chart of 66.42. Okay, so we got to that 66.48 level, then it pulled right back and we couldn't close above. Now you should see we got right above it, but now we're kind of really hanging in that that neck of the woods here. Okay, so right now, again, if we come right on down and we hold that 8-day, that's going to be a good buying opportunity. Same way with your 21-day. This is your key support, 64.59. There's your key support, 63.91. And then here's the big boy, is that 62.46. Reason being is when we were down here, I said, if it rallies, it's going to go to that 200-day. Where did it go? Dead nuts. Then it came down here, it consolidated. Once you broke through, now look at how many times it has held it, okay? Just because it comes down, okay, below it, you got to look at where did it close? Everything closed here above that key 200 SMA at that 62.46. That's the beauty of it, okay? So respect it. If it happens to come all the way on down, this is going to be a good buying opportunity. Now, again, on a weekend edition, I did a seasonality, and crude right now is going to be is basically in play to go into that summer driving season. Now, also, we have the big situation between the U.S. and Iran. Now, T-Man on Friday gave the Iran 10 more days, I guess, to come to the table and talk about getting rid of that nuclear building that they want to do out and there. But, you know, you just never know. He could just go there and just say, boom, I'm going to start leveling some of this area here, just like he did last time with the bombs. I'm going to blow this right on up here kind of situation. So I just think crude is I am long the UCO because right now we are uptrending. See how the 8-day uptrending, 21-day uptrending, look at a 50-day cross the 100-day. This is looking good. Any pullback is a buying opportunity. Okay, now on the upside, wow, what we're looking for, you're looking right here, again, 66.48, and then we'll come here to Friday's high at 67.03. Now, if we crack above that 67.03 level, then we come right up here. What do you got? You got 68.94. We come up there. You got 69.65, and then bring that price channel right across. How easy that is. See, that's what you got. Okay, 70.51. That's it. Okay, 70.51. That's going to be very, very key. Okay, now, we crack that 70.51 level, then we'll come right up here to the top of that candle, 72.28 level. We can venture up here, 73.68. Then we have 75.18 level. Then we're going to be looking for that 75.86. That is your 200-day simple moving average. Okay, so even when you look on this weekly chart here, okay, so what you do is we're looking at that right there. That's at 66.42. Now, here's that 70.51 level. Now, again, we can crack above that. We got this level right up here. That is going to be 72.28 level. And then you can come up to the top of this candle here at 77.62. And we come up here at that 78.40 level. Okay. Now, just remember, crude oil is not going to be staying here in the 60s. Now, OPEC and Saudi Arabia came out, says they're in the first quarter here, second quarter, I should say, that'll be in March. They're going to start adding barrels on the market. Okay. Now, T-Man does not like high oil prices, but any kind of conflict, any kind of unrest is going to take crude oil higher. Always remember that. Now, even if they get a deal with Iran and they say, okay, hey, Iran is going to, they're going to cut down this, it's nothing but nonsense. Okay. There will never be peace in the Middle East. Okay. That's just reality. I've been doing this for over 2.5 decades. There is never peace there. There's always something today, and then those agreements are broken, and somebody else raises hell. You got so many. You got Libya, you got Syria, you got Iran, you got Iraq, you got so many players in there that always going to, instigate kind of a trouble situation. Okay, so apparently, the peace agreement, they just don't last. So just remember, that's why I like trading crude, because it's always in play. That's the key. Now, our big target here, just remember, is going to be right here. That's going to be that 70.51. That's going to be the big target. On the downside here, again, just watch that 8-day, 21-day, and that key 200 SMA. If it comes down anything in that area, that's a buying opportunity here to take it higher. All right, let's take a look here at natural gas. All right, here we have natural gas. Now, we had the contract roll starting today on the 22nd. Okay, so it rolled there. It looks like it have a little pop up, but that it's really kind of meaningless. Okay, so right now here, what we want to watch is once you have that roll, you want to just give the charts a little bit of time to shake out. Okay, because now remember, when a contract rolls and it goes up or it goes down or whatever it does, okay, just always remember it doesn't change the ETFs. Okay, UNG is going to be the same. KLD is going to be the same. If you trade Boyle, that's going to be the same. Or whatever you trade, that's going to be the same. Okay. This was that contract roll. 743 came all the way down to here. That was that time to contract roll. Okay. Now, what you're watching here is now we got a new set of charts here, so you got to be a little bit careful. Okay. So now we're watching is that 312. That's going to be very, very key. And then we have your 3 flat. That's going to be very, very key. And then we're going to be looking here for that bottom line at 292. Okay. So a 292, why did it hit there? Just look to the left of the chart. What do you see? 292. Okay. You lose that, it's 289. Okay. You lose that, you get 280, 277, 265, 262. Okay. That is your downside. Now, here upside, so far we hit this 3.25. What we're going to be looking for is the top of that candle, 331, because that's the gap. We look to the bottom of that candle at 338. That's the fill. That's your resistance levels. Then we come up here to that 200 SMA here. Let me just take that down so I can peel that in there. Okay, your 200 SMA is, let's see here, at 358. Now you can see here how this 21-day, 50-day, everything just rolling right over. 375 above that. Okay, and then the next level is going to be 381. And then we have a 100-day at 391. This is looking ass ugly. Okay, now if you just look at the seasonality chart, or my video here over the weekend, that's a seasonality chart. I did the indexes, which is the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ. I also did crude oil and natural gas are also on there. So if you look at the natural gas and then those charts over a 20-year period, if you look at that, realistically, you're going to be down to flat for the whole month of March. Okay, and then it starts rising up going into the summer. If you get a real hot summer, what's going to feed the power plants? It's going to be natural gas. Then you go into hurricane. What's going to feed, any kind of disruption? Natural gas, crude oil, that kind of situation. So always pay attention to what's going on there in the seasonality trade, as long as also, with your regular daily charts kind of a situation. But right now, just watch that key 8-day. Okay, we lose that. You can come all the way down to that 292. Upside, watch that gap, 331, that 338, and then right here, that 200-day is going to be very, very key. That's going to be at 358. Then we have all this to get through. Okay, so it's going to need a big catalyst to go up and break all that to say I'm going to go higher. Okay, going up to retesting at 7.43. I can't see it. This here, remember, this was that big storm coming across the U.S. And this was just a total short squeeze parabolic run. Okay, that's all that is. Now, I don't hold natural gas overnight. Okay, I just trade it daily, long and short. Crude oil, absolutely. It's a whole different animal. So I'm long the UCO there on the crude, and I'm just kind of trading the old natural gas like I always do. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, and we'll do it all over again. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.